again. Okay, I see. I think we're just... Okay, I think we're working. Okay, it's a very big, long time delay, but we are certainly here. Hello, this is Adra. I have possessed a physical, mortal form for us all to admire this desk and this mat. It's actually much smaller than the video feed implies. Accidentally hit my camera boom there. Because I wanted to shake things up real quick, and I wanted to do a stream of doing a hobby that I really like, which is gunpla, or model building, I suppose, for the uninitiated. I'm already messing it up. The uninitiated, gunpla stands for Gundam Plastic Model, as one can see from the instruction manual on the booklet. As a quick crash course, they come in a multitude of grades, but for our particular needs, this high grade, specifically of the RX-7802 Gundam, will do for us this evening. You may very well recognize this as the original Gundam from the anime and everything else. There has been a multitude of anime, manga, video games, etc., etc. Hopefully, this is fun for everybody. I just wanted to try and shake things up. These come in a variety of scales, but like I said, this is the one we're starting with, and I figure since this is going to be the first in a potential series of streams, we would start with the very first of the Gundams. Although this one is specifically the version in a OVA manga series called Gundam The Origin, but that is irrelevant. Hello, Aeon. I was just going through the quick crash course for everybody who may or may not be familiar with Gunpla and Gundam. And just as a real quick, over there is a couple of my finished models that I brought just because I wanted to show them off. Going to fiddle this around. My desk is a mess. This is the instruction booklet. I will go over some of the tools we'll be using this evening to build this model. The most important is a pair of snippers, nippers, gunpla, pliers, scissors, bladed cutters. There's a lot of plastic. You're going to need to cut it off of these runners. There's going to be many, many runners in the box. Do not be afraid of them. They are going to create something wonderful and great. You will need tweezers. There are many, many, many small pieces. Do not let them scare you or intimidate you. They are going to help you do things. Furthermore, you can buy off of Amazon just full kits that come with all of the things that I'm showing off of you. In fact, there are 2 pliers that came from the kit that I bought, along with the nippers and this sanding stick. Although, if you ever get to a point where you continue, Amazon has other various places, like in a file. So, that is, generally speaking, everything. If you want to buy your own gunpla models, if it is ever of interest to you, you can go to various retail outlets on the internet, newtype.us, USA Gundam. There's a bunch of various outlets throughout the country in which these models are sold. You can also, of course, get them through Amazon, although that technically still counts as second-hand, and therefore you may be subject to markups in the prices. So buyer beware. You can also get them on eBay, but that comes with all the various things of shopping off eBay. I think that is just about everything. So I hope this stream works out well, and I hope that the camera stand that I have acquired holds up pretty well. I just bought it from Walmart literally just a couple of hours ago. As a refresher, this is the model we're working with. This is the instruction booklet, and the first task to building a model properly is to begin opening the manual. Also, fun fact, if you do not need any knowledge of Gundam to get into Gunpla. It is your hobby. I barely watch the anime. I've watched a little bit here and there with my boyfriend and another friend of mine. But I buy whatever models I please, regardless of whether or not I have watched the show. The instructions will be varying on the year they were produced, will be written in either exclusively Japanese or both Japanese and English. The more recent ones being the more English-friendly, because Bandai did eventually realize that there is an entire Western market interested in their cool stuff. Kind of weird talking about how that is, but I have my instructions ready. We are going to get started. This is probably going to be a much more quieter affair than the Resident Evil streams, in case you probably could not already tell. Not going to be a lot of jump scares in model building. But hopefully we can still have fun. And hopefully I'm not boring. But a lot of the process is quite literally finding the runner you need. They are marked with letters, and throughout the entire ones there's an even smaller set of each one. We are not hashtag add jump scares to model building. But yes, to continue. The runners are where all the parts are. They are marked by a letter, and across them is a whole bunch of numbers. And if you want to look at the instructions, as I am doing right here, they will very handily denote the pieces you are looking for by their letter and their number. I know this is all basic stuff, but I'm going to assume that on some level, some of the people watching will have likely never interacted with models. So, a lot of our process is simply going to be cutting these pieces out. And you don't have to worry about being perfect. Just snipping like that. and finding everything you need. And it's going to be fun and nice. So normally, under certain circumstances, you would have these little bits of runoff from the runner that you cut off. And under normal circumstances, depending on the piece, you would either cut as close to the model as you can or cut a little bit away from the piece, and then you would sand down the nubs. I don't know if my potato camera... You see there's a little white part, and that's where it was connected. Normally, under normal circumstances, you would sand them with one of these, like so, and then you would sand away the entire nub or whatever you didn't cut off. But in some of the plastics, they are fairly easy to just very carefully twist off. And there's a great deal of pieces that will actually not be seen. So some of those little white parts, you're not going to have to worry about that much. And of course, the hardest part sometimes about this whole process is finding where, or organizing all of the sprues and runners. Sprues or runners. These are alternatively referred to as sprues or runners. It doesn't matter. They both do the same thing. They hold all the parts, and you're going to cut them out, and that's how it's going to work. There are guns on this one. These, I just want to take a moment to denote these. These are polycaps. They are they're actually made out of rubber, not plastic. As you can see, they are a great deal more flexible than the other ones. These are things like joint pieces and other stuff. That's a tangent. I apologize. Or maybe it isn't. Maybe it is. I don't know. We're going to find out. This is a pilot episode. We'll be okay. So just cut like that. And a little bit like that. And a little bit like that. Very simple. It's very zen. I picked this up last year, a little around May. I was going through a somewhat emotionally tumultuous time. I won't go into too much detail. But a very dear friend of mine suggests I built Lego. I started actually with Legos, but Legos are surprisingly very expensive. So, a good friend of mine, I've talked about him before, Hundashter, actually suggested gunpla to me, just building Gundam, and I looked up some websites. I looked up on like Amazon, I think, and there were some other websites that I looked up. And I bought a Zaku 2. An ASMR thing, Zaku. Aeon. Shoot. Maybe I know a lot of YouTube channels have done ASMR. Like there are a handful of YouTube channels that just do straight up, like they do a zoom of the snipping section of all of this. I don't know if I'd be able to do it because I don't know how. Actually, just let's find out how well my microphone picks it up. So let's find out. What am I cutting out? 21. We want to cut out this one. when you can, Aeon, let me know how well the snip comes out. Oh, yeah, I can barely hear it. May very well also be the fact that my nippers are kind of dull at this point. I've had them for over a year. But anyway, yes, my friend Hundashter recommended Gunpla, which was actually fairly cheap, and it is actually fairly cheap if you buy it. There are models that are far more common than others, and there are some that so they are almost always going to be very cheap. Like I said, the Zaku 2 model is almost always available and very easily affordable. But some of them aren't. And eventually, I was recommended to continue trying the hobby by another very close friend of mine. She's also probably watching the stream right now, or I hope. Is that? No? Oh, that's how we do it. Okay. Some of these parts are going to be very small. They're probably not going to show up very well on the camera, but we'll just live with that. I assume that it's not the quality of the video that matters. Or, I mean, the camera kind of, the camera on my phone is fine. Lord, one of these days I'm probably going to have to get a phone call during one of these streams, so that's going to be awkward. Right, so this goes in there. Is there? Huh. Okay. And then that goes in here. And it fell out already. Okay. There we go. We're just gonna fit that in right there. The other thing that's really nice about Gunpla is you don't need glue. You only need your nippers, maybe a hobby blade if you need it, like this one. There are going to be moments where you may need it. I don't normally need it. But it never helps. It never hurts to have one. Just like that. And that. And then it usually just pulls off pretty easily like that. It's an internal piece, and you're not going to need to worry about the little white stress mark. You may hear me popping my knuckles. Lots of bits of handwork that you're going to be doing in this little hobby, should you ever try to pick it up. But, just like that, it's a very stress-relieving hobby. You like the I'm hoping the little lighting boom that came with this stand. Because I was originally just wanting to get just a mount for my phone, but apparently, and it was just for $10 at Walmart. This one comes with a second one, and I don't know if you can see it. It came with a second part that says a lighting rig that plugs into a little USB plug. So I've got that turned in. My weird setup right now is a little bit more than I'm used to, but I'm kind of liking it. We'll probably do more of this. Fill light. Okay. Yeah, something from over here probably is going to help. Or something like directly above me, but I don't know. We'll figure it out. Don't have a whole lot of room in the apartment, but we'll make do. And this is moments where you're definitely going to want to try to keep just a tiny bit away from the part, because this is going to be something publicly seen. And then you just go to work with your sanding piece. A piece like this, double-sided, you can just be very slow. It doesn't take a lot. Okay. Doesn't take a whole lot. Never sweat the details with this. This is about having a fun time. Yeah, that's nice. And this is optional. This is a buffing stick. This white part just will take a little bit of the stress from the sanding off. This one has been worn considerably, so it's not really going to do a whole lot of the job anymore, but you get what I'm going for. And again, this is actually probably going to get painted at some point down the line, so it's not really something to worry that much about. Next part. And we will just... It is pop. And there's your ASMR. Or at least kind of. And one of the things that tends to happen when you're cutting bits of plastic off of pieces for model is pieces like to just jump the moment they're cut off the blade. You can either not care or just sort of put your finger on the opposite side of the model and it will just sort of hold the plastic bit in place. I don't know how long we're going to keep at this stream, but maybe an hour, maybe two. It depends how we're feeling. Just very simple. Maybe. I wonder. Can we bring that a bit We'll find it. That looks fine. Maybe. I don't know. I'm not going to worry about the light. One of the things that a lot of people say is you never, like, saw back and forth, but I don't really worry about it. I know there's, like, a chance that you'll overdo it, but, I mostly build for the Zen, for the Zen kind of vibe. I'm hoping that I'm holding this in front of the camera correctly. Because I'm looking at the parts and my hands. Yeah, I got it in the view. It's a little bit more like that. If I ever start talking too quietly, let me know. Although the microphone is like right there on my mouth, so it's possible that I'm not going to discount the possibility that I could be talking too quiet. Okay. Assembling pieces. If I'm doing this correctly, some pieces are going to be held in purely by friction. It might be a little bit, well, poop. Oh, that's what we're doing. Okay. Oh, I was holding it upside down. That'd certainly help if I had it positioned in the correct way. So we just hold it in. And just slide our pieces together. If I can get the holes lined up. Come on. There we go. And there we go. I think. Yeah, that looks fine. That looks right. Okay. We just keep going like this. And this. And like that. We're just going to leave that there because this is going to be a fairly complex part of the kit, at least according to the instructions. So I'm going to fish around for the next sprue that we need. Okay. Oh, perfect. And we just keep going like this. And like that. Ah, here they are. Just like this. And then we just go like that. And that comes off. Okay. That's all from the thing. We gotta get our polycaps off. Okay. But this hobby has a certain amount of emotional significance to me, if simply for the fact that it was very helpful in an emotionally trying time in my life. And so I thought I'd do a stream and share it with all of you. I know I've talked to certain friends about it, and I've sung the hobby's praises on more than one occasion, and I very likely annoyed them to a small degree. And I know some of them have told me why they can't really do models. Some of them I don't remember, but that is neither here nor there. It is a thing that I enjoy, and even though I have a small audience, I wanted to share with them. And so we're going to Oh boy. Small piece fell onto the floor. There you go. There's your jump scare in Gunpla. The sheer, unadulterated panic of a part falling onto a floor. We just slide everything into place like this. If I'm doing this correctly. Just like this. And it is very easy, simple, difficult to make mistakes, though they do happen, but most of them are fairly easy to work with and very, very... Where was I going with this sentence? Oh, the mistakes happen, but they are negligible. They can be worked around, and it is just about the moment of just working with your hands. Unless you don't have hands. Have paws or feathers. I have feathers. Maybe you have claws. Actually, claws might be helpful. They might be nice. They might, work as built-in built-in nipper cutters. That'd be nice, actually. Just simple, easy. Am I doing this correctly? Just build it like I'm supposed. It is supposed to slide in like there. I think we have it. We're getting something. We're getting something. Well, come on. It is. Come on. There we go. There we go. Perfect. We have a mostly finished chess piece. We're almost finished, but we're getting there. Okay. Like that. If I had music, I'd almost certainly be playing it. I almost thought about having my TV playing YouTube, but I was worried about the audio levels of that being too high. So I made the decision not to do that, because I figured it would be less of a risk. Mostly because I like to listen to licensed music, and I have never really gone on the hunt for royalty-free music. So, just hunting down the piece. There it is. There we go. We just work with that. Like I said, there are going to be small pieces. Don't let them intimidate you. It is just a matter of keeping your hands steady. And it's not going to always be clean. And that's okay. I hope I can get this on a video on demand, because I'd like to have this on YouTube. There's a lot of people who do gunpla on Twitch and YouTube, but I figured I'd give it a shot, because I figure, well, there's probably not that many people who do it. I mean, there's probably a bigger number than I think there is, but, you know, to each their own. And to each their own, each according to their own needs. That sort of stuff. Ah, white sand. Okay, I'll have to look into that, Aeon. Thank you. Right, I have to make sure I have things in the frame. I have been so... I have a habit of just sort of pulling away from my mat for some reason. But if I'm going to stream it, I should probably keep things in the frame. There you go. Looking good. Looking good. Oh, poop. There we go. Got to... And there. And I keep bumping my little camera stand. Although it doesn't really seem to be showing up that much when I peek over at my phone, at my PC. So, I guess it's going to be okay. When you just... I don't know, there's something about the feeling of slowly making something come to life. Well, not literally come to life, but there's something about the feeling of putting together a model, kind of like building a puzzle. Oh boy, I may have to... Oh geez, this is a fun first episode. I may have made a small mistake, and there might be a pinched or bent part. I can't tell. Let's see if we can't... Piss. Boy. Oh, there it is. Okay. Just gonna carefully, slowly try. So, this is where the fun start comes up. I don't think Bandai ever intended these models to be taken apart after you assemble them. Because getting them apart is such a quest to go on. Such a wild little endeavor. Come on. There you go. I gotta make sure that this piece isn't pinched, because I'll be paranoid if I've messed it up. Come on. Come on, guy. You can work with me. Come on. Come on. There. We got something. Come on. You gotta... Slowly and carefully, because, like I said, these are friction held together. So there's like a risk of breaking the pegs if you yank on them too hard. You got to very carefully wiggle them apart. Come on. Well, the reason I'm concerned is this is a little bit lopsided. Well, I did say not to worry about mistakes, so we're not going to worry about it. Then I'm going to be buying a part splitter down the line anyway. So, like I said, we're just going to keep moving on then. Going to keep moving on. As I said, I think there's just something about the process of just slowly but surely getting something put together, and that was sort of the sensation when I first started this hobby was I made this. I made these things. These are expressions of myself. And they always will have little tiny flaws, little small imperfections, and that's okay. And I know I'm sorry, I'm trying to say, I know I sound like I'm trying to be like super crazy profound, but like, I don't know, I kind of maybe I am. But it's just satisfying, and it's just nice. And so that's the torso. I don't know how long we've been at it. The phone app doesn't have a timer or anything, but we've got a torso. We will begin moving on to the backpack. The backpack. 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 Yeah. Yeah, that wasn't a very funny joke. Here it is. 50 minutes. Isn't it nice how time flies when you're having fun? And that's another thing I really, really like about this hobby is it is easy to just lose yourself in the time. You don't gotta worry about anything. There's no stress. There's no job. No pressure to be perfect. No pressure to get this done under any real time limit. Just you and a model kit, pair of these things. And in my case, I have an audience who get to listen to me ramble on and on and on about whatever I like. So, one of the things I got to try recently is I found out that you can make donuts out of Pillsbury Grand Biscuits. Or just great big jumbo biscuits. I don't know what if you want to go for a generic brand. It's I actually found out they're really tasty. They brown up real good in oil. And good heavens, there's a lot of small parts on this. But they take exceptionally well to powdered sugar, although powdered sugar makes a wild ass mess. If you work with powdered sugar, be prepared for a mess to just happen. That's just gonna be what you end up making. It will be a very tasty donut, though. Mind you, there's a video made by Alton Brown for biscuit donuts. And this is where the tweezers come in. Okay. So, when you have a piece like this, you take your tweezers and you just put them in the hole and you just position it like this. Oh, jeez. I mean, you can do it with your fingers too, but I have big, giant human hands that just don't want to fit into anything, no matter what I do. Well, I got that to fit in actually pretty well. Yeah, I got big human hands. But yeah, normally you can use tweezers to get into hard to get in with your fingers spaces. Sometimes you won't need them. Sometimes you'll definitely need them. Sort of. Just chill and vibe. I almost thought, like, my question is lo-fi stuff, is that like, that's my question, is that a thing that I'd be at risk for triggering a copyright strike by the algorithm? I'd like to hope not, but you can never assume anything with corporations corporations and their various algorithms that they use to keep us all in place. I'll have to find that out after the stream or something. Which of these? Just no, no. It's this one. Ah. Thank you, Zines. I'll keep that in mind. Fiddling with the equalizer just right. So I'll have to figure out how to do that. Mind you, it's probably all going to be playing off my TV in the background because I'm on my phone and I have no idea about going about that whole process without plugging everything into my computer. If I can just get my fingers to cooperate. Just right. Come on. There you go. Put that where it needs to go. There you go. Knocked my hand right up against the microphone bit of my headset. So I apologize for that. And we just chill like this. We're just gonna not worry too much about anything. I keep coming back to that. Maybe that's just me being nervous. Who knows? So I was a little bit nervous coming into this stream because it's not a video game. It's an entirely different thing. But I think we're doing okay. Nobody's complaining, so I assume we are doing okay. Just like this. There. There we go. We're still not done with the backpack because we do need a couple of extra fiddly doos, fiddly diddly hula hoo. And now I got the Alvin and the Chipmunks song stuck in my head. I wonder if well, no, they're probably not public domain. They're probably definitely super copyrighted at this point by who, I don't know. Alvin and the Chipmunks are probably definitely copyrighted. To who, I couldn't tell you. Baha. So, yes, the it's Dave. Their dad is Dave, or David, I think, is the Alvin and the Chipmunks adopted dad that they all call Dave. Don't know why that is. Don't know why they all choose to call their effective dad Dave. Very, very avant-garde for, like, the 60s where that all came about. Very avant-garde for them to make chipmunks into a pop sensation. Very did I say avant? I said avant-garde. I'm gonna own that. I said avant-garde. I don't know if avant-garde applies to Alvin and the Chipmunks. I'm sure a lot of furries have had moments where they got into. Oh man, there are people who are in the furry fandom who probably had Alvin the Chipmunk as their point of entry into the furry fandom. I am almost willing to bet. And yeah. Oh, it started in the 50s. I didn't know it started in the 50s scenes. I definitely do believe it when you say they're a precursor to Nightcore, though. That I definitely believe. That feels legit and like cursed forbidden knowledge that one is not supposed to necessarily know about. And so the fun thing about this particular version of the RX-78 is it actually came, and I'm going to show you all the booklet for the instructions for a moment. It comes with variations that you can choose, like little choices you can make. As you can see, this is technically half finished, and depending on how you choose, you can either have a shoulder cannon or another little lightsaber. I don't have the actual lightsaber. Actually, I can get that real quick. I can show you all, just because I want to be silly for just one moment. You come with these. And you just, as with everything in this kit, you just snip it out. So their albums came first. And I just bent this sword. Fuck. Dang it. Well, I just turned this into a PG-13 gunpla stream. I mean, I've already said the word piss at one point. Is piss PG-13? I don't know. But big laser, like Imagine Anakin Skywalker with a tiny, tiny fucking thing like this. There. Anyway. It goes right in there. One moment. I'm going to go use the restroom. And we're back. I think we're back. Okay. Where were we? Getting back into this. That's where we were. Just put that in. Just like that. And I'm going to show you all an interesting thing that tends to happen in gunpla. So, this is B1, and this is D2. You'll notice quite a bit of overlap. Rather than sometimes they'll make sprues that are just a slightly cut down version of one of the other runner sets in the model kit, which is, probably the only thing they can do, and that's effective, really. There we go. Oh. It's swords. And there we go. And then you just put the backpack on like that. And effectively, the whole torso is basically done. I don't like how loose the swords are, though. But oh well. And then our torso's just going to sit there. We're going to work on that shoulder cannon, because I kind of like how that looks. And I keep forgetting that I got to keep things in the frame. I don't know if that's a hard rule, but I feel like that's only fair to you all if I invite you all to a gunpla stream that you all want to see me cut the gunpla out of the bits. I mean, I know there are people who just do talking, and I have thought about that at some point. At some point I might just do a stream where I read a book or something. Maybe I'll read something weird. I don't know. That might be a thing down the line. We'll find that out. Maybe I'll read Dune. Actually, I probably won't read Dune. I don't own a copy, and Dune is not a quick read, from what I've been told. Or at least I know. I'm pretty sure it's definitely not it's not a quick, easy read. Oh, I panicked and thought I had a missing piece for a second. That'd be a second time this week I had a missing piece in a model kit. So I'm just gonna keep rambling. I hope you all don't mind. I mean, probably half of the fun of this kind of stream is I get to just sort of talk about whatever I want. And normally, if I were building this on my own, I would have a video essay playing in the background or in my headphones. Though there is a certain niceness to just, chilling with myself and just getting to talk about whatever is in my head. I missed streaming on Sunday for the past couple of weeks, and I really don't have, I have an excuse, kind of. I was invited to some private game time with some friends, and then I spent the rest of the night doing more private gaming with other friends. So that's what I did. And sometimes you just gotta do private gaming with friends. So anyway, as I said, this kit gives you like a choice of having multiple different things going on with your with your with your that part wasn't fitting for some reason. Isn't. Yeah. Shoulder piece. Maybe that's supposed to be how as far as it does go. Yeah, that's about as far as it should go. Heck, it gives you the right. You gotta hold it closer to the camera. And yeah, shoulder cannon gun thing. You know, just like that. And it'll pop right off, and you can, of course, put the second sword part in. There you go. And we effectively have a fully made torso piece. I know I said that already, and quite a bit ago, but that is everything that comes with a torso. Body. Whatever. You know what I mean. Y'all know what I mean. Do you know? Does anyone know what they're talking about? I don't know. But I'm here to have a fun time. We're all here to have a fun time. So okay. Right. So this is my least favorite part. We are building the head. Now, in normal circumstances, the Gundam comes with this foil sticker sheet, as you can see. And some of them have to go on teeny tiny pieces like this. My camera is not going to focus on it, but that is the eyepiece. And if you want to have your gunpla look nice, you're going to have to fiddle with your hands or tweezers trying to get the eye sticker on the eyepiece. I am going to die one day, and I don't want to waste it on putting it on a sticker. Or wait, putting a sticker. Yeah. I don't have time to fiddle. I know I said time is not something you should be worrying about, and there is no pins. The stickers are hard. That's what I'm saying. The stickers are frustrating and difficult and hard. So I'm not going to worry about the stickers on this day, the day of my pilot episode of my Gunpla building stream series. Or for however long I try to do this. I know, hopefully with time, we will build this entire model. We will all get to take a moment and know that it will be our Gundam. It won't just be a Gundam, it'll be our Gundam. It'll be our communist Gundam. Ha. We just keep working. If I can get this all to fit together. Oh, I was definitely would have helped if I had it held up the right side up. You'll do that sometimes. You'll have parts that you're holding wrong side up. You'll laugh. You'll laugh or you'll be frustrated. One of those depends on the day. As you can see, slowly coming together. I think the one thing I'm worried about is when I end this stream, there might not be a video on demand. And that's going to suck if that ends up being the case, because I did a test stream. And my first test stream just seems to have vanished from the ether. And then I did a second one, and that one I actually deleted because it was a test. And I think I accidentally ended up showing more of my room than I should have in that test stream. So it was promptly deleted out of worry of showing too much personal stuff. Now, come on. Come on, work with me, friend. Work with me, friend. This being real dang fiddly. It sure feels that way anyway. Come on. Am I supposed to fit it like that? Feel. Weird. Okay. So. We'll just keep working. Sometimes it will be a little bit of a challenge getting all of the parts to fit together. Because you will have like I'm having right now. You'll have pieces that just don't want to slot in to where you want them to go. And you just gotta try to keep going. Be very careful because these parts can and do break. There we go. Got that. Just keep going. If I can just... Shit. PG-13 gunpla stream, everybody. Yeah. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I didn't have the eye piece fixed in deep enough, so... There we go. We're coming together. If I can get everything together. There we go. There we go. If you're like me, you'll end up popping your knuckles a lot because of how much your fingers get worked during these streams. It's definitely... So, I'll talk about another small detail. So, the antenna, or what they refer to as a V-fin, see if this'll... There. You'll see there's a little nub on the end. They're not that way in the show, and some models don't actually have those nubs on the V-fin. And that is apparently a safety feature. Although, in your, model hobbyists will encourage you to, he's staring directly into your souls. If the camera will focus. It's not going to focus. But the hobbyists encourage you to, snip off or sand down the nubs on the V-fin. And that's optional and entirely up to you if you ever get in this hobby. Because it is your hobby, and nobody can tell you the right way or the wrong way. The only one who can decide that is you. So, I think for a pilot, this is, if that'll stay in place, come on. I believe this is going to be our little pausing place, the torso of our RX-78 Gundam. We'll hopefully get to have an episode 2. And we'll keep building. And we'll hopefully have a sturdy, strong gunpla. And I am glad for those who stuck around. And I hope you all have a great night. And this has been Adra. Take care of yourselves, and I hope you all have a good night. Boop. See if that hits the end.